Good evening, everybody. I'm Wayne Campbell, and this is the driver's side. Real drivers, real talk. I hope everybody's having a good evening tonight. It's good to be here. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here. All kinds of reasons to be here because there's all kinds of things going on in the trucking industry. I decided tonight that I'd put a show together. I haven't sent out a link to anything or nobody because I wasn't contacted. So I reached out to a couple guys tonight, and I got a couple guys to come on, and there's a lot to talk about. But before we jump into tonight's show, I want to say thank you to everybody that is here and that does join, and to Glenn Calais, all you guys, because I do have a video from you, to Rosemary, that truck you've seen. His name is Shane. Thank you for letting me film you out in Orange, Texas. Before we jump into everything else, I do want to say a special shout out to our Knights of the Highway this week. One of them was Keith Becker. Keith Becker, I want to thank you, brother, for being driver of the one of our drivers of the week last night. My wife has knighted you a Knight of the Highway. I think that's cool that she has done that. I appreciate you. We also have Ellie. Ellie was also another one that was named a Knight of the Highway. I want to thank you so much, Ellie, for all you do, and Keith Becker for all you do. Also to Jerry. Jerry is one of our guests tonight. This is his son. He was out fishing with him his past home time. So he will be joining us tonight, which I'm excited about. He's a new guest on this show. And we also have Ron Hebert. He'll be joining us tonight. There's him and his wife. There he is there. This gentleman's got 45 years in the industry, about 7 million, I think, miles there. So he'll be joining us tonight. And before we get into all that, we do have a special shout out to Shannon Crass and Nick Crass. They are trying to buy a house. There's some drivers that have that are married, and they're a couple, and they've been going through some things, and they decided to pull the trigger on a home. So we want to wish you the best of luck. You're in our thoughts and our prayers. So hopefully that comes through for you, Shannon and Nick, and we're pulling for you over here at the driver's side. We're so excited about that. Another one is Dina Sharp. Okay, I got this over on TikTok. I got a message from her, but what this said made me feel really, really good. She says, my grandson has nonverbal autism. He will be getting a service dog soon. One of the few words he can say is semi-truck. I love my Gemma, my pit bull Gemma, and I believe really, really strongly in service dogs for companions and for people that are having seizures. I ran across a video over the weekend that I posted on TikTok that's where I got that comment, and I thought it was really neat because this dog, the owner was having a seizure, and the pit bull came right under and stopped her from slamming on the ground. And Dina saw the video that I duetted, and she left that comment, which made me feel really good. And one of the few words is semi-truck, so it really touched me in two ways. So I appreciate you, Dina, and I'm really, really glad that you made that comment and that you dropped that comment. And to Alicia, I wanted to say thank you for sending me this picture. Okay. You guys over here at the driver's side, we always put God first in everything we do. And this picture really stood out to me with the way those lights were gleaming. And you guys run across these crosses all over. There's one right here at the Tennessee and Virginia border. I don't know which one that one is, but that is an actual great picture. And I wanted to say thank you so much for sending that in. We have a lot to talk about tonight, but the one thing I'm going to mention is I wanted to mention this real quick, is we do have a giveaway coming up. We do have a birthday coming up on the driver's side. On Tuesday, we celebrate 2 years of broadcasting over on the driver's side, so I'm excited about that. And we decided to give away some money, a shirt, and a hat. So on Tuesday, I think it is, right, babe? Tuesday, we'll be giving away a one shirt, one hat, and a $25 gift certificate. I believe we're going to Cash App that or PayPal that right away to you guys on Tuesday. So tune in on Tuesday morning on the morning show with me and the wife, and we'll be giving that away. It's also my birthday. I'll be 27. Okay, so this is what trucking's done to me. Okay, this is how you look after years of trucking. That's why I don't truck so much anymore, because look how I look now. We'll be talking about that tonight here later in the show, how crazy it is in your trucking industry right now. Again, I wanted to mention the giveaway that we have on Tuesday: one hat, one shirt, and a $25 gift certificate to you guys. Hopefully, I'm coming across clearly. I haven't checked the comments yet. We're going to jump over to those comments before I bring the guest in. But before we do that, I was out with with Bundy tonight or today. I was out with Mama Bundy out in beautiful Tennessee. I didn't realize how beautiful this state is and how much it has to offer. But me and Charles were rolling out today with Mama and my wife, and we came across, Charles spotted this truck. So it's a white. I can't remember what year it was. He said, Charles, but I'm going to take this break. I'm going to play this video that we saw this truck today, and I did it with Charles and Mama and my wife. And I got a lot to do out here, Charles. So we got to get out there, dude, because we're coming across some things that we're seeing from the side of the road. We're scouting out, and this is what we scouted out today. So I'm going to play this, and then we'll be right back with your comments, and then bring in the guests. Talk about an amazing truck, and the guy still used it. His name was Mike, and I'm going to stop back out there. I'm going to hopefully catch him driving it. So, and he's got some bloodhounds out there that were sitting right next to the truck. There's a line of bloodhounds. I mean, some real country living. But what a piece of iron. What a great piece of iron that was. So, like I said, let's head over to your comments. And I'm going to start with my bro. She says, bro. I say, bro. From Las Vegas, Nevada. My girl Lisa, she's in the seat right now. Currently, I don't know where she's at. Hopefully, she's in an area that's good and's got plenty amenities for you, and she's not in some bad weather. Rick Kale, good evening, sir. How are you, my Boston people? Good to see you, sir. Ron Purnell, good evening, sir. How are you? Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. Leanne wanted me to meet her in Knoxville, and I couldn't do that, and I didn't call you back. I didn't get back to you. I'm sorry about that. But we had a great conversation yesterday. It's all the conversations that we're having are really good. I appreciate that. I want to put the women's panel together for you guys. I want you to be part of that panel. I want Idella. She's training her grandson in the industry right now. It's all about the heritage that over here on the driver's side. And I really want to get some of you women on a panel. Maybe even Lisa, my bro, will join you guys. Look at Jerry in the comments. Look at you multitasking tonight, Jerry. I appreciate you. Nick Crafts tonight here. Guys, real quick. Why we have Nick here, I want to say, Nick, we are pulling for you on this piece of property that you and your wife are looking to buy, Nick, and I really hope you get it. You guys deserve it. You guys work hard. You work hard not just out on the road, but you really work at your marriage, and you guys love each other, and you guys show it. So thank you, Nick, for being here tonight, and you guys keep these people in your thoughts and prayers for this home, and that they get it, all right? Because they really do deserve it. It's not easy for drivers to buy houses. At least last time when I was in the seat and I tried to buy a house. All right, let's head back over to the comments. There's my beautiful wife, Sheila. Sheila, I want to say thank you right now as you're sitting right there for putting all my notes together and stuff like that, and making sure that I'm successful on the show, and making sure that I'm successful within, my love life, at least. She's right over there. All right, Jim, good evening, sir. How are you? Gary, over here getting your Saturday night fix on the driver's side. Good to see you. Chris Salisbury, my Ohio people right there. Crystal, that's a new name. Good to see you. She says Juan. Hopefully she's tagging somebody, Juan. Look, there's a What the Hell Tonight video. So we'll be talking about this tonight as that plays in the background. But good evening, Crystal. Good to see you. Charles Rainey, good to see you. Rick, good to see you. Rick Calais, or Glenn Calais, good to see you. I can't believe I almost messed up your name. Your son's going to be played again tonight. I'm playing his video regularly lately, so he'll be played tonight. All right, Jeff Wade, good evening. Lisa, Wayne Campbell, bro, we already talked about you. Dana Mullins, good evening. How are you? That's a new name. Good to see you. I like the Jeep profile. Dave Umberger from Hillsboro, Oregon. Good to see you. David Arnold, met him at the Tiger Truck Stop there in Louisiana. Good to see you here tonight. Really good to see you here tonight. Glenn Clay Jr. right there. There's the gentleman's son, that driver's son. Inherited Heritage, love it. Good to see you. Robert Pennington, our XLG family, good to see you. Remember, guys, you're not hauling a cure of cancer. So if it's not looking too good out there, just grab a parking spot and pull over and be safe for the night. That's, you know what, why I'm saying that. Robert, good to see you tonight. Rick Hale, again, good to see you. Day Kalapi, good to see you. She made it home tonight, and she's making church tomorrow. She sent my wife and I a message. We're glad to see that you're home, all right? Let's get down here to Shannon Crass. There she is. Thank you, Wayne. We are trying. Love you all. No, Shannon, we love you. We do. And we really are pulling for you. So hopefully that will happen. All right. All right. Let's get down here to Susan. Eileen, thank you so much. She actually sent me an early birthday present, and she cashed out me $40. I appreciate that. Susan, that made me feel really good. I actually spent it the other day. The day he says to me, thank you so much. Hey, look, if you can't be open with who you are and the people that you love, you know, seriously, what's the point, right? All right, here we go. Wayne, you are my hero. Don't you start with me tonight, all right? Perry, all right, it's good to see you back, though. Perry, it's good to see Tisha Campbell. Our Tisha Campbell. You're not Martin. Not Tisha Campbell. Tisha Bell. Let me slow my ass down, all right? All right, Day Kalapi says, 7 weeks out, and I'm going to be able to make it home in the morning in time to get to church. Right on. Love it. Becky Rogers, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Shannon Crass says, been here since day one, will be always. She has. She's talking about since I started broadcasting, and you have. And you've brought your husband and your family. We've highlighted you a few times, so I appreciate that. Sorry. Getting thirsty. Dave Umberger, that's a big 47. Shut up, Dave. Shut up. All right, we're not talking about my birthday. We're talking about the driver's side birthday, all right? Rick Kale, we're not going to even get to you over there, all right? All right, Mary Kay Owens, good evening. It's good to see you. She says, hello, all. Renee Mueller says, LOL, 27, and I'm 29. Well, good. Then you're about to be 30. You're older than me. Haha, not me. All right, here we go. The driver's side says 1061 white. Yeah, what? 1061 white? Yeah, the truck. The truck. There you go. All right. Day Kalapi, one more. Let's get to her. Love this show. The honesty and all the information is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. No, we appreciate you guys. Seriously. All right. John, how are you tonight? He says, what's good, brother? Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you. Kelly Shane Richardson, he says, Kelly Shane Richards, that's right. Might be getting a black Volvo in a couple of weeks. Yeah, you might be switching trucks, right, Glenn? If you do, dude, I look. That large car. I'm not even going to get into it because you told me not to say anything. Let's hope you get into it. And if you do, I can't wait to film that. All right. Let's see. You're welcome, Susie says. All right. Rick Kale says, all the best, Shannon. Hope it works out for you too. All right. Look, we got to your comments. Let's go to Chucky real quick. Chucky, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Where are you at that it's afternoon, Chucky? You might want to stop at the DOT house and go ahead and pee in that cup if you think it's afternoon. All right, it's 9 o'clock at night on the East Coast. Where are you at? All right. Good afternoon, brother. I just delivered and done for tonight. See, come on. You're driving too many miles in there, pal. All right, here we go. There's my Volvo, Glenn Clay. There's my Volvo brother, Glenn Clay. All right, Eric Denny, what's up with you? Not much here. Glenn, Dean Stein, I accepted your friend request tonight. So we're good. I maxed out on friends. So if you don't like me, unfriend me so I can be friends with other people. But I got, it's crazy. Facebook ain't right. All right, here we go. Becky Rogers says, you all ever come to Lubbock, Texas? You will be coming to Texas again soon. My daughter's moving back to Texas. So I'll be running through Texas quite a bit here in the next probably few months. All right. I got Florida to go to in April. We got, what is it? When's the Jake's wedding? June. And I'll be in Walcott in June. So the Jamboree, when the Walcott Jamboree, I'll be at Walcott in Iowa, and then I got Chrome Shop 75 in April. So I think I got something for, I think that's April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So, and then my daughter will be moving to Texas, and I will be stopping in Texas for a little while. All right, here we go. Okay, let me see what's going on here. I love both of you. Great show. Enjoy listening to you guys. All right, look, if you enjoy listening, you're going to enjoy the guest tonight. We're going to take a small break here, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to bring in, we'll bring in Ron, but let's take a look at Glenn Clay right here real quick. We'll be right back. Shout out to Clay family and all you drivers out on the road. I love filming you guys out there. All right, guys, now that we're back, we're going to go ahead and bring this gentleman in here tonight. We're going to bring in Ron first, all right? Because Ron, he's been dying to get on the show. We've always had trouble with him coming on the show. Hopefully tonight we won't have trouble. Hopefully he's got his act together, because I mean the guy deserves to be on here. He's got 45 years experience. He's run this Canada and the States. He currently lives in Canada, but he knows quite a bit about the trucking industry. So let's go ahead and bring in Ron Hebert. Good evening, Ron. How are you?
Great. How you guys all doing tonight? Nice to be here.
Look at this. It's actually working, Ron. How much did you have to go through to get this technology to work?
Well, it took 2 months. Buying laptops, buying webcams, buying this, buying that. Finally got it to work. So far, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, let's hope it continues to work. And let's start off with this right here, Ron. Who's this right here, Ron?
That's me. Back in my brand new W9. It was a '97. Bought it in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about that. You obviously don't have that truck anymore. Why don't you start off with when you started trucking, Ron? Why you started trucking, and let's go from there.
Okay, well, when I was 6 years old, I started riding around with my stepdad, and he used to deliver for local grocery stores like 7-Eleven, stuff like that, local delivery stuff. And I rode with him, and then after that, started working on farms, picking potatoes, stuff like that, working around with farm trucks. At 12 years old, started driving farm trucks in the potato fields. And then the same place where my dad worked, he became a foreman, like a boss. And he had other drivers that would come up here to Canada to load cedar shingles. And we had back then cab over Astros, and we used to come to Canada. I was 14 at that time. And then they used to let me drive in Canada, go up, load the shingles, come back about a couple miles from the border, we'd switch. So I've been playing in trucks ever since, the age of about 12, and got married and graduated and decided to go over the road. That's my wife in that '97 truck there. You just showed there. That was a parade we had over here for not homeless kids, but handicapped kids. We were collecting money, donations for them. So we were having a parade. And then I worked my way up to finally getting over the road when I was 21. Did log hauling from till I graduated at 18 all the way up to 21. Then I went over the road in 77, 78. I finally went over the highway. Bought my first truck in 1990 was a gravel truck. Then I went up to a brand new KW, a 95 Aerodyne 1. And then it just went up from there. I had 14 KWs in my life and been driving ever since.
So trucking's been good to you, basically, Ron, right?
It's been good to me, yeah.
It's been good
it hasn't been easy, That's my son, Corey, and that was when I was in the woods. That was a 5,000 International Pay Star. And that's my son, Corey, the one that wrecked his truck last week there. But that's him. That's him right there. Yeah, my son. He's 43. Proud of him, driving him too. So yeah.
Okay, so married, you've had a marriage through trucking, you've had kids through trucking, you have kids in trucking. So I guess we could say you are basically what trucking is, right?
Yep. It's all I've done. It's all I've ever done.
You said Corey had a little spill this week. Let's talk about that. I got some pictures here. Yeah. Ron, what happened here, Ron?
He's coming down the road, and of course, off-road log hauling is very dangerous, very slippery, very icy roads. Come around a corner, and he met a game warden on the wrong side of the road, so he kind of had to give way to avoid hitting the game warden. The game warden wasn't using his CB, and in the woods we run what we call a MERS radio. I send you pictures of that. Mm-hmm. It's basically a two-way radio. It's good up to 50 to 75 miles, so there's no excuse of running into a truck like that. So my son had to give way to avoid hitting the game warden, and ended up grabbing the side of the road and rolled his truck over, and the game warden just kept going. Never even stopped to see if he was okay, and it took about 15, 20 minutes for another truck to come and help my son get out of the truck. There he was stuck in the truck. Yep.
How is he? Is he okay?
He's okay. Yeah, he's back to work. His boss bought him another truck because that's our spring season. Is usually end of March, early April. We're done for about 2 months because of mud season. So he bought him an older truck where he's going to be able to run over the highway for 5-6 weeks while they fix his, because his is in pretty bad shape. Needs a sleeper cab, pretty banged up. Didn't look that bad till they got it on its wheels, but the frame's twisted. And well, I had over 200,000 pounds of load, so it takes a beating when it goes down. So
Yeah,
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 it's hard.
it didn't look too good, but the thing is he came out okay, and he's already back in the seat.
Yeah, 2 days later he was back in the seat. Yep.
So good. So the company stood by him, and
Oh yeah.
because we know when a driver has a wreck, sometimes it could be a little while before they get back in there. But obviously,
Well, yeah, you know a little bit of history about my son there. We talked about. I don't want to get into it over here, but this guy took him under his wing, and he didn't have a CDL, and he took him under his wing, and I helped him get a CDL, and this guy helped him get back on his feet, and gave him a job driving in the woods where he didn't need a license to get experience. Then he went, got his CDL. Now he has a CDL, and like I said, this guy stood by him, helped him buy a pickup, get back on his feet. And he's doing good,
so
good. Proud of him.
You backdoored it. You took him from there, right here, all the way to
upside down in
to there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I want to say that it's awesome that you did this. I love the fact we're all about the heritage here. We're all about, we all about cherishing that. The thing is that you love your family and the way you raised your family, not just by taking care of your family, but you also gave them the gift of trucking.
Right. Yep, I have. And he rode with me all the time. Love the trucks. Love to be out on the road. Love the highway. I think this spring he's probably going to go out on the highway a little bit. He's kind of itching to do that.
I love how you backdoored him. How you got him some experience out there. With that on the roads where you didn't have to have a license.
That's right. Yeah,
it's important. You
well,
teach them a lot
up
about
here we're fortunate. Up here we're fortunate. We can do that. We can go work for a log hauler and haul off road, and you're not required to have a license. The truck doesn't even have to be licensed or registered as long as you have liability insurance and cargo. Disability, liability, and physical damage insurance. You don't even have to put plates on their truck as long as it's off-road, what we call off-road, hauling on private logging roads. Right. And he done that this year, and he finally got his CDL, so now he can go over the road and he does his off-road stuff there. But it's and
then coming around. Real quick before we move on off the topic of family, how was it being married and as a truck driver and stuff like that, Ron?
It's hard. It's not easy. You got to have a good woman behind you. I met my wife, and she was working, and I made her quit. I said, "You're coming to drive truck with me and ride in the truck with me." She said, "Why?" I said, "I want you to see what I do." And she loved it. She rode with me till 4.5 years till my first son was born there, and she loved it. And we went everywhere, all over the United States, and she loved it. I mean, so you got to have somebody strong at the house. I mean, we've had our days. She'd call, my son, give her a hard time and this and that, but we worked through it. We worked through the bills. We worked through the hard times. I mean, and you got to have that support. Without that support, I mean, our lives are hard enough as it is out here on the road. You don't need it hard at the house to pile everything on at one time. It helps to have a strong person at the house to take care. I mean, she's got to be the mother, the father. She got to do everything. She got to take care of the outside, inside. She got 2 jobs. She's got my job and her job. So it takes a good woman to do that. Got to have a good woman behind
let her know we appreciate her, and
oh, she's sitting here. She's listening to me.
And let your family know how much we care. Yeah. I know you got another son that works, at the warehouse and stuff like that. I want to say, right?
He works at a chicken farm. He catches chickens at night to send to a processing plant. Yep. Right. My wife, she collects the eggs in the morning for the baby chicks.
All right, part of that chain, part of that food chain. All right, look, Ron, I want to jump into something real quick because you run both states, or you run both countries. You've done that through your career, stuff like that. How do you feel? How do you feel? Is there a big difference between the two?
Big difference. Up here in Canada, trucks are governed to 65. That's the law. You can't have a truck that runs over 105 kilometers, which is 65 miles an hour. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not going to say I like it because it's like you're going down the road and you're like 2 Swift trucks or Schneider trucks trying to get by, and you ain't got enough to get by that truck because he's maxed out and you're maxed out, and it's a game of who's going to give and who's going to let off the accelerator. The rules and regulations are a little bit different. We're allowed to drive up here. We're allowed to drive 13 hours a day, and you're allowed to work 16 versus the 11 and 14. The only thing is if I go let's say from here and I get to Ontario and I know I'm going to cross, let's say, into Michigan like I normally used to do, I had to make sure that I had at least a full 11-hour break before crossing into the U.S. Then once I get into U.S., I got to go by U.S. federal guidelines. I got to follow the 11, 14-hour rule there. Accidents and that, you don't see that up here like you do in the States. I think because of the trucks being governed, and it's hard to maintain a 65 mile an hour speed all the time versus when you got a big truck that you can go 80 miles an hour, that'll drop down to 70 and back up to 80. Well, here, if you're a 65 and you're down at 50, 45 going up a grade, you don't have the collisions and the calamity that we see that I see in the States there.
And so you see a difference between the two, then you
big
see a big difference.
Food, restaurants, truck stops. There's not a whole lot, but what's there is good quality restaurants. It's not takeout or Flying J hamburgers or Pilot and Subway. Most of these good truck stops up here have sit-down restaurants. The food's great. My wife loves it. The Irvings, big stops. They got really good restaurants. They have a variety of food from Mexican to seafood to American to Canadian food. They got a little bit of everything.
Okay. You know? I get it.
Getting hungry?
It in our face.
Getting hungry?
Yeah. Not just that, is these poor drivers have been, it's not been easzy with food lately around here. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. We're going to bring the other guests here in a little bit. But before we get to that, before we get to Jerry and stuff, I want to ask you about this right here, Ron. What's going on here, Ron? What happened here?
That was a disaster. That was a disaster.
And I wanted to ask you, what happened here, Ron?
This was a guy pulling a 32-foot camper, and behind his camper, he had a little trailer there, and on the back of that, you can't see it, but there's a big fat boy Harley Davidson on there. And where that flatbed is parked, I was parked in the right lane, and where that flatbed is, I seen him coming over the hill. There was a construction zone. We come over an old in Lansing, Michigan, and the traffic was dead stop. And this guy was barreling down the road. They estimated at over 70 miles an hour. He come over the knoll, and there we were. And I seen him coming, and he was fishtailing, trying to stop. And I would manage to move my truck over to the right breakdown lane where you saw that flatbed. And he come right up and sideswiped the whole side of my trailer, went into a fishtail, and rolled, and that pickup unhooked. And he ended up rolling over into the medium, over the cables, fasteners and that. I jumped out of the truck. My wife jumped out of the truck. We jumped the guardrail. And then the other picture, you'll see a couple of gas cans. I took them out, set them out in the medium, get them away. I opened the hood. You see the gas cans there. I opened the hood. I cut the battery cables, cut all the fire to the pickup. I cut the fire to the trailer to avoid the propane tanks getting ignited. And the driver was just sitting there, and no airbag deployment, nothing, no seatbelt. Conscious. He had a minor concussion because I could tell by his eyes. No door. I mean, that's exactly what it looked like when I got to him. The door was gone, and that man managed to stay in the seat. Don't ask me how, but he managed to stay in the vehicle. And what really hurts me the most is we see these accidents every day, and we shake our heads and, well, what happened? This guy was a retired firefighter, okay? No seatbelt, no airbag deployment, nothing. This guy shouldn't be alive. By the grace of God, the man's alive. But there's no reason. Well, look at the vehicle. Just look at the pickup. There's no reason. But he's a retired firefighter. Retired firefighter. I'm sure he's seen plenty of vehicles like that with dead bodies in it. And this man's driving down the road with no seatbelt. And this is the outcome. It's sad. It hurts me. But, I did what I had to do. I got there, took care of the situation. My wife and I, and we helped the guy, and finally the cops came and the ambulance, and we finally took care of the guy.
We're going to talk a little more about that later. The well-being of a driver, because after something like that happens, it's not easy for a driver. I've had somebody expire in my hands while I was out on the road. I've seen people expire in a fire. That were sitting next to me at a stoplight. Next to a mile up the road, they're in a ditch on fire, and there's nothing you can do in certain situations. The other gentleman on the I-10 outside of El Paso, on the 10, he was, they passed me flying. Next, the gentleman fell asleep in a truck. They rolled and ejected the gentleman. It rolled on top of him. I was able to get the two separated from the one gentleman because I know what was going on over there because I assessed the situation, and the gentleman expired. And it wasn't easy for me. It was hard. you know, just not, and I wasn't even involved in the accident, but just to experience something like that. But you experiencing something like that with a firefighter, man, that
Yeah.
must have really been
Yeah.
something that really
I
kind
didn't
of got.
know he was a firefighter till I went around and I saw his license plate. It said disabled firefighter.
Wow,
And I thought to myself, what? You know?
wow,
But
that's crazy.
the worst one, I mean, I've seen worse than that, but my wife, her being new in the trucking, she had never seen anything like that. Her first experience with death was up in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. We were coming north. It was bumper to bumper traffic. And this is back when we had, I'll show you here. This is back when I had this in the truck.
Is that what is that? Is that a cell phone? Is that the first cell phone?
That's the
Look
first
at
cell
you!
phone I
Look
had
at
in
you,
the
old
truck, and I
dinosaur!
had
Look
just
at you
got it.
pulling out the fossils. Look at you
And
pulling
I
out
had
these
that
fossils.
I had that for about a week, and we were going up by the Meadowlands by the stadium, and this silver Mercedes Benz come around me and clicked the front bumper of a little six-wheeler, and he rolled into that swampy marsh. You know where that is up in the Meadowlands, just water. And I jumped out, and I was waist high in the water. We pulled the woman out, and she was screaming and hollering. My husband, he was upside down in the water. We got him out, and he had passed away. He either broke a neck or some kind of injury. He was deceased when we pulled him out of the car. So, like you said, we had to separate the situation from her, and trying to tell her he's okay. He'll probably be okay, but we got to separate him. But knowing inside of us, me and the other guy that pulled him out, that there's nothing we could do. But my wife, that was the first time she had seen something like that. But that phone is how I got in contact with the state police to get the ambulance, and with that phone. Yeah,
Imagine
that
that's
same one I got here.
and look what we have today. I mean, look what we have today. Well, Ty,
Yep.
yeah, you know, I mean, come on.
Computer.
I mean, think about it. You got the first car phone. My dad had one in the studios. My dad had one in the studios. That's crazy. That's awesome.
It worked great.
All right, Ron,
Actually, it worked better than this.
right.
Partial service.
All right, Ron, I got another picture that you sent over to me, and I know we got guests in the back, so I appreciate you guys being patient back there. And we're going to go, and I'm going to show one more, Ron. I want you to talk to me about this. What do we got here, Ron? What are we looking at here?
That was my worst nightmare. That was in the logging industry. That was up in Quebec. And it's a pretty sore subject with me, but this goes back to like my son's accident. This was in a logging road, and the guy I met wasn't paying attention. I come around a 90-degree corner. We have to call that corner 3 times. We're required to call it before we get into it, when we get into it, and we get out of it, because it's a one-way corner. Our trailers are 14 feet wide. The curve's probably 20 feet wide. There's no room to meet another 14-foot wide truck there. This guy comes barreling down the road. I can show you other pictures, but the other pictures you'll see I got my chains on. The road was slippery. There's November 28th. This bozo's coming around the curve talking on another radio to his boss. Never heard me. Come around, and he just swat me. As you can see, the damage took the hood and the breather, everything out. That they cleaned the whole side of the trailer. I was crushed behind the seat. The window exploded. Crushed my knees, my back, my right rotator cuff. That was in 2008, and I was in the hospital for almost 2 years, in and out till 2010. Several operations. I mean, to this day, I'm disabled. I've been put disabled from 2010, but I'm not going to stop this old boy. I'm still in a truck, still plugging at it, but that was my worst nightmare. I still have nightmares over that. It's something you don't forget, you know. I mean, and also a lot of people, actually died in that accident. A lot of people don't know that, but I actually died in that accident. There was the 3 mills around that area. They're so far. It's an hour and a half to the nearest hospital. I mean, if you want to say you're lucky, I was lucky that day, because the three mills that were there each have a trauma team because of the saws and that, because a guy can cut an arm off or a leg, or so these mills have what they call their own trauma teams to assess and deal with situations like that, because it could be an hour and a half before you get an ambulance. And that morning, somebody was looking after me, because after I remember seeing a truck and a trailer come and hit me, then all of a sudden everything went, silent. Didn't feel nothing. All of a sudden, this big bright white light came, and everything went to like weightless. I felt warm. My body felt warm, and I felt myself kind of like going away there. And all of a sudden, I got cold. And what happened was the trauma team there gave me something. They shocked me with something. They didn't tell me there, but they must be adrenaline or something to get my heart going back. But anyway, I was brought around, and by the grace of God, that morning, There was an ambulance in town because they had transferred a elderly gentleman from the Montmagny, Quebec hospital to a retirement home in St. Paulville where I was, and that just so happened the ambulance was there. So within 10 minutes, the ambulance was there. They had to cut the door off to get me out. And within 15, 20, I was actually gone before the cops even got there. I was gone on my way to the hospital, but I never saw a cop or nothing. But yeah, it is a pretty disastrous day. But by the grace of God, somebody was looking after me, and I'm here
Well,
today. Yeah,
I'm glad you're here, Ron, and it's. I'm glad you're here to tell the story, Ron. You have a great story. You have a great legacy in this industry. You've been in it for a long time, and for you to come on and tell that, we appreciate that, Ron. And by the grace of God, we're able to do it. We finally did it. We finally got you on, Ron. Ron, so being through all this, how tough has it been on you mentally, Ron?
it's hard.
How
It
tough
was
has this
hard.
job been on you mentally?
It's hard because that's not the only thing I've seen. 7 million miles. You can imagine what I've seen. I've seen. I mean, I've seen a camper go over the ladder in Massachusetts on 90, and the woman had her 3 kids in a camper, and the camper come unhooked, and it went over the side of a guardrail. Well, you can about imagine what that looked like when we got down there. It's 3 deceased kids. I mean, it's over and over, day in, day in, day out, day out. I mean, I sold you a safety plaque I had got from saving a man's life in Pennsylvania, coming with a load of coils. The coils slid on his trailer. He rolled over in the ditch, pinned in the truck. It took us about almost 2 hours to get him and cut him out of there. And I showed you the nice plaque that the Steuben, Pennsylvania Fire Department sent me.
That's awesome.
You know, to me, it all piles on, and demons come in and they go out, and the highway, the stress, the loneliness, all that piled into it. And in 2000 and
it's a lot.
Yeah, 2000 and we're 2021 now, so it would have been 2018. I actually committed suicide. That's how bad it was. I was so down and depressed and hard, and I lost my brand new pickup because of my age. When I got disabled in 2010, all the trucks I bought after that, I bought one in 2012, 14, and 16. I was not able to get disability insurance for my payments. In other words, like if you got hurt, the bank would make your payments. I was no longer eligible for that coverage. So, I mean, everything just snowballed down. I had bought me a brand new Ford pickup. Only had 3,800 miles when they had to repossess it in March.
Wow.
In July, they come and got my truck. And in October, I just couldn't take it no more. Just so depressed. I mean, it gets you. I mean, a lot of people don't realize it. I mean, it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and I just crashed again, died again that night.
Point. Yeah.
My wife was there, my son was there, and 911. And I'm here.
Along with some people said it in the comments, and they said it like you said earlier. You need a strong woman, and you have one.
Yeah.
And they backed that up in the comments, and also in the comments, real quick, Ron. Not to just let you know, Dave Newland says this guy's telling his life story, which is your life is trucking, right?
Yeah.
He is. Dave Kalapi says, "Thank you for sharing your story, Ron." All right, let's go back up here real quick.
If we can help somebody, that's what I'm here for. And like I told you, they'll have to pry the steering wheel out of my hand. I don't have blood in my veins. I have diesel fuel. I'll be 65 this year, disabled since 2010. And you know what I do for work. I do logging now, one of the hardest jobs there is up here. And I'm not going to stop. It's in me. They'll probably bury me with a steering wheel in my coffin. I don't know, but I don't know. I just don't like depending on other people to do my things and to raise my family and take care of myself and my family. That's my job, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right, I appreciate it, Ron. Look, we're going to take a quick break because we got a lot to get to. We still have some other topics to get to. And I also want to ask real quick before I bring everybody else in, and I have the opportunity to say, in case anything happens, please call in, because I know when we add people, it hurts sometimes your feed. But I would love to have you back again, Ron, with some other drivers, and have you back on a round table. And do you know, because I know you're one of you, if not are the most decorated driver I know with your awards and everything that you've gone through, and with having a 7 million miles under your belt. I'm sure a lot of people probably question that. And the things that you have,
I have had a few comments, and I set them straight. You know, it's I don't question what you do. I don't question what I do. I got the awards. I got the trophies. I got the plaques. I got everything here. You want to see them? Come on up. I'll show you
it's
them.
my job to question you, sir.
Not a
That's
problem,
why
buddy.
you're here. I'll
Right.
I'll do the questioning there, pal.
Well, you
Ron,
got
no,
the proof.
but seriously, yeah, I'm going to have you back, and I want to have you back
Yep.
on. And the things that you've done for the show, you watch the morning show every week, every day, and I cannot thank you enough. You've got your family involved in the show. You did some homework this week. You actually took notes, and like, yeah, you talked about this, you talked about that. You went, you got your laptop taken care of. Again, the extra the extra steps that you go through for me and stuff like that. I cannot thank you enough. And then to go down and you took your computer down there to get fixed so you could be on tonight, bought a webcam, all that. So I want to thank you. Please, guys, in the comments, let Ron know how much we appreciate him over here at the driver's side, over in the comments. With that being said, let's take a break, and when we come back, Jerry will be in with us, joining us in the studio. All right, guys, we're going to take a break with an old Kenworth I caught out here the other day. We'll be right back.
When it hit me right there, then my mind set. Now homework told him they're gonna be a man short today. I got the Sunday day blues, the song and the thing is gonna make them go away. So I went out and I climbed into my big old Chevrolet, and with a turn of the key.
Get it, driver. I caught him out there the other day off of State Street, Charles. That's I can't remember the name of that construction company. Baker Construction. They were grabbing out the old gravel pit over there, Charles. And then I caught him over out there in Bristol again, and he invited me to the yard. Okay, they're going to be rebuilding that truck, Charles. So me and you got a lot to do out here in Tennessee. All right, look, we have a new guest here tonight, Jerry. Good evening, sir. How are you, Jerry?
Anyway, can you hear me okay? I'm having
Yeah, you are having technical difficulties. Yeah, bring that down. There you go. How about now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you fine. How are you tonight, Jerry?
I'm good. I'm having technical difficulties, so let's see how
Okay,
it
well,
works.
at the moment you're hanging in there. Why don't you introduce yourself and how long, and tell us how long you've been in the industry and how you got into the industry.
All right, my name's Jerry Ellifritz. I've been in the industry since I was 3. I remember riding in pulpit trucks with my uncles up in West Virginia. I'd just ride along. Most of the time, fall asleep in the jump seat. But I do want to thank Ron for paving the way for us new drivers, because I still consider myself a rookie. Ron I could go up to Canada. First, he has to teach me how to cross the border because I've never been up there. But you know, as I was growing up, my dad, he drove trucks in the military for the Army, and I didn't get to ride with him until I became a teenager in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I would go out and go in the field with him, riding the trucks, and then my mom remarried, and I got a stepdad. He became a truck driver, and we lived in California at the time, so we would run up Interstate 5. He would, slide over and let me drive in between the scales, and I just got it in my blood. So my first job out of high school, I worked in a warehouse loading trucks, and then I started just studying, and I ended up going into heavy wrecker service in California. Moved to Tennessee and did heavy wrecker, and I love the industry. I love trucking. I did try to take a break and be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, we're having trouble with them. Yeah, Ron.
What's that? No, it's fine.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry. Because I was okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, and so when I just came back as coronavirus hit. Can you hear me?
You're fine, Jerry.
Okay, all right. So when coronavirus hit, I came back out to the the trucking industry. So I haven't been back out on the road, but it feels like I haven't missed anything. I work for a small company out of Georgia, and we mainly haul produce and food.
Uh,
It's just I love trucking,
all right. So we
and I'm
are
always learning.
having, yeah, we are having some difficulty with you, Jerry. For some reason, you're breaking up. You're coming in and out on my end. I don't know about on the other end.
Okay.
Jerry, so do you want to maybe try this another time?
Uh,
Yeah.
no. If you can put me back in the back room
Yeah,
for
just
another.
hang back in the back for a minute, and then we'll try to bring you back here in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
All right, hang tight. All right, real quick. All right, Ron. You know we're gonna move on. I want to talk about some things. Okay.
Yep.
The things that are going on in the trucking industry. It's kind of crazy, Ron. I want to ask you about what do you think about this shot right here? I'm gonna play a video. All right, and it's kind of a trigger video. We're going to start it off right out the gate with the bad, and we'll go into the good here. But let's talk about this driver right here. How about it, Ron? What'd you see there?
That's another one of those WTF moments. I think there. Uh, I can't believe when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this guy's barreling down the ramp, tailgating that four-wheeler, knowing he's going to get into traffic, not even paying attention to what's even coming. I mean, you're supposed to, even though you're speeding up to get into the highway, you're still supposed to yield to oncoming traffic, no matter what. They have the right of way. And to him to jump out on the right lane and just to immediately jump out in the left lane, and the cop's there. I mean, really, you that blind? I mean, and the cop pulls him over, and from what I heard, he only got an illegal lane change or something kind of ticket like that. To me, I mean, the man shouldn't even have a license anymore. There's no need of that. No need of that at all. That's just plain. Well, stupidity. I mean,
How do you
it's not
feel
right.
that? How do you feel this is affecting the trucking industry? Because you know what, this type of driving. Let's face it, Ron. There's not a lot of professionals left. I feel like in this industry. Well, I
No.
don't know. Maybe you don't feel the same way that I do, but I'm finding a lot of them that are more caring. I'm finding more professionals that are more caring about their jobs than I did before. But I am finding them further and few in between. Okay.
Well, you take the guys my age. They're a lot of the guys I knew. They're gone. They were in their 70s. The guys that I looked up to, they're gone. They're passed away. And I'll be 65 this year. And there's a big gap, I think, between my generation and the new generation today, which are probably in their 40s, mid 40s to early 50s. And these guys are coming along. I don't see a problem with them. A lot of them, it's a learning experience. You got to be able to want to learn. You got to keep an open mind. You got to be willing to learn, listen, pay attention. And these guys are. I'm not saying they're not coming. They're coming along. I see them. They're coming along. You can see the way they drive, the way they handle their truck. These guys they're there. They're just increasing their knowledge base basically to get to where I'm at now at 65. But what I'm concerned about is the 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds to that 40-year-old bracket. And I know that there's people out there going, oh, well, geez, I know how to drive a truck. Well, okay, you know how to drive a truck. I'm not saying you don't know how to drive a truck. But the knowledge, you don't have the knowledge. It's like when a kid's 18 years, I can't wait till I'm 18 years old and get the hell out of the house. Well, they're out at 18 and they're back at 20. Well, why are you back here at 20? Well, everything you told me has happened. Well, listen to us. You know, we're not always wrong. We might be able to tell you some stuff that's true that might happen in your life, but I find there's a big gap there from 20 to 40 and then 40 to my age there. I'm comfortable with those guys from 40 on out, but from 20 20 on up, the training's not there. Like this guy just come right out, never looked, never. I know he never looked in his mirror because if I'd have seen a cop there, you think I'd have went into the passing lane. I mean, hello. I mean, just his mind was set. I had to get by that. The four-wheeler probably braked him at a light back there somewhere off the ramp. We don't know. We don't know what happened prior. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could have been a four-wheeler come to a light and he stopped the truck and took off or something, and the guy wanted to catch him and he got him on the ramp. And we don't know the whole scenario. All we see is him on the ramp pushing the four-wheeler pretty much onto the highway and wanted to get around. For some reason, he wanted to get around him. But there's no need of that. There's no need of that.
If he was having issues with that four-wheeler, he should have created his safe space. Period.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
He could have created it. You know, he was up on there. He was willingly participating in that situation. Period. Clearly, you could see from the corner of the way it was coming around the corner. But how much of a black eye does this continue to carry out for the trucking industry? How does this help the trucking industry? I mean, it just continues to snowball. It seems like
it doesn't help because our biggest how do I want to say, the downfall to trucking is the Jiangsu public. There's more people in cars driving around than there's people in trucks. And they see it too. We're not the only ones that see it. They see it, and then they say, whoa, look at that stupid driver. Look what he's doing. Look at this. Look at that. But like I said, they don't know the scenario behind it, but still, there's no need of that. Let off the gas. Let off the accelerator. Let it go. Flow into traffic. But it's a black eye. It's every day you go out there and you see it. The people see it. The four-wheelers see it. And when it comes time to pass these laws, there's more four-wheelers voting than us. And then we say, well, geez, here we go with another stupid-ass law. Well, we can't drive over 11 hours, and we can't do this, and you got to do. Oh, man, I'm telling you. When they went to e-logs, I got off the road. That's the last January 1st, I was off the road. But that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, that is a whole nother subject. All right, anyway. You mentioned four-wheelers quite a bit in that.
Yep.
In what you're saying, all right, and I agree with it. Do you think that with the way these four-wheelers act, it causes more hostility out there? It heightens the tension in the industry the way with these drivers, and it just creates. Do you think they fuel a lot of this animosity out on the road?
Yeah, a lot of it, because I find if I look back to years ago when I started driving to today, everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere. They're not going anywhere. How many times have you seen somebody come flying around you, cut in front of you, pull into a gas station? Well, why'd you have to go around me? You were behind me. Now I got to stop, let you cut across so you can get into a gas station, get into a convenience store to get what? Coffee? Is that coffee worth your life? Everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere.
Well, that's easy to prove. I mean, go look at your refrigerators in your local stores and convenience stores, your grocery stores, stuff like that. You'll find 90% of it is energy, and they're selling you hurry up and go. You know, from Red Bull to Monster to this to coffee to that to blah, blah, blah.
Oh, and iced tea. Iced tea.
All right, though, Ron, but in the end, we're going to head over to the comments here right now, and I'm going to go to Ed Rogers, okay? And he says, I know plenty of young, good drivers. I also know some bad 65-year-old drivers. I mean, Ed's just coming in here pulling punches right out the gate, isn't he? I know this guy, too. He's a clown. All right, so, but he says he knows a lot of young, good drivers. So do I. Do you think that there's a lot of young, good drivers, enough young, good drivers? Or do you think there's a balance there between the two? Or do you think there's a little more of the hotshot, cocky ego guy out there, young gun coming out going, yeah, I'm super trucking, I'm getting this, I got this? Or do you find it that there's more professionals within those in the younger industry?
No, not really. Well, let me put it another way. No, in one sense. See, I think what Mr. Rogers is seeing is he's probably talking about 25, 30 years old that he raised on a farm, and he taught them how to drive. And, guys that grew up like we did, and probably he did, okay, they learn to respect. They have the respect, okay, and they're just missing, like I said, the knowledge over the years. I'm not saying they can't, like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to say they can't drive. They can drive. I had a bull hauler tell me the other night, well, I'm 30 years old and I can outrun you. Well, I'll go get my Kenworth, buddy. You want to outrun me? Come on. I'm 65, and I guarantee you'll take all you can do to follow me. I got them little toothpicks too, if I need to use them. I still got a few of those hid. But anyway, I can still get it with the best of them. But what I'm saying is the knowledge is. I'm not saying their driving ability is not good. Okay, is what I'm saying. It's the knowledge you acquire. Driving in the winter, driving in traffic, driving. There's a variety of stuff that you learn. And the cocky guys, like you say, wow, you need a hand driver? Nope, know exactly what I'm doing. Well, what are you doing? Well, I don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. You do? You sure? And this guy's sliding his tandems the wrong way to get the weight off, but he knows what he's doing, but yeah, I find it's the thing is we got different nationalities coming here now. Their attitude is, like I said, a good American Canadian driver, don't have a problem with them. They're usually 9 out of 10 of them are brought up the right way. They're taught the right way by their fathers, their grandfathers, their uncles. They're brought into the industry young. They're good drivers. The knowledge, they'll gain the knowledge every year that they're out here. That's what they're going to gain. But it's this breed of drivers they got coming in now that don't speak English, don't know where they're going. Their dispatcher gives them a sheet of paper and it says 80 west to exit whatever, then take 70 toward Denver. Then once you get to Denver, go to Utah and take down to LA. They go by a number sheet. I've seen it. I've seen Russians out of Chicago run like that. I said, how do you get somewhere? And they showed me a paper. Hello, and a GPS. They got 3 GPSs in their windshield. 3. Why do you have 3? Those are the guys that worry me. I mean, I don't mean to get heat up there, but those are the guys that I'm not worried about a good American driver. I'm not worried about a good Canadian driver. 9 out of 10 of them, like I said, have good background, good upbringing, good parents, good uncles, grandfathers that taught them. But it's this new breed coming. It scares the living crap out of me.
Well, I think those mills tend to forget to teach the code of the road on top of giving them a license.
Ethics. You don't teach them any ethics.
I think the balance is off, Ron. In my opinion, I think the balance of professionals and non-professionals is very off. I think the training is shot to the roof. I think that more things need to be put in place to more restraints to getting a CDL, opposed to just giving out CDLs. You need to put more restrictions on getting the CDLs instead of restricting the ones with the CDLs, the professionals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In my opinion, I think that might start correcting the problem. You need to stop pushing training laws back in this country as far as we do. We had a bill that was supposed to go through, and it got pushed to 2022 or 23. 22. Why are we pushing training bills? Okay, we're supposed to be enforcing training. It saves lives. Okay, we see what the lack of training is, but I think for me the balance is off. I really do. I think the balance. What it is,
it's the government, Wayne. Okay, up here I see it a lot, and I know it's the same in the U.S. These big multi-thousand truck companies don't have drivers. So what are they doing? They're going to the government. The government's going to Europe. Okay. And I've seen it. I worked for a company for 16 years, and I was leased on to them for 16 years. They were bringing guys in from Russia, Ukraine, Romania, Australia, you name it. They were bringing them in from everywhere. And the way it was set up, that these companies would hire these drivers, the government would subsidize these companies and say, if you hire these guys, we will pay 50%. Now, mind you, 50% of their salary, you pay the other 50%. Okay, and we'll give you the drivers. And that's the big problem. And there was owner operators leased on to the company where I was leased on with my trucks. There's one guy from Russia had 7 trucks leased on to where I was leased. And that man was telling me, he said, I pay 0 taxes for the first 5 years I'm here. I said, what do you mean? The government gives me a break for the first 5 years. I pay no taxes. And at the end of 5 years, if I don't show a profit, I don't have to pay for another 5 years. So what these guys were doing is they were running their equipment. I mean, no maintenance, Wayne. I mean, they were running them right flat down to nothing. They would turn around and sell them to a brother or a member of their family, and they'd get another 5 years exempt from taxes. The government's behind this. It's not just the training schools and the training mills. The government's behind this too. Whether a lot of people realize it or not, I've seen it. Personally, I've seen it.
And there's a lot of money at stake.
That's what it's money. It's all money.
There's a lot of money at stake, Ron.
If you can hire 10,000
you're shaking the hornet's
drivers.
nest. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can hire 1,000 drivers and pay them $350 a week, and the government's going to kick in the other three, they don't pay these guys much. They live in the trucks. They got no house payments. They got no car payments. They got nothing to pay. They live in those trucks. So it's $700 a week. 350 comes from the government. 350 comes from the company. They make it $700. 500 of it they ship back to their home country.
Right. You're tapping into what I call the super scam of trucking, Ron.
Yeah.
It's a super scam of trucking. A lot of these trucks are basically rolling sweatshops.
Yeah.
Okay, in my opinion. That's how I feel. Maybe some people think it's okay. I'm fine with people coming to our country the right way, doing the things the way we do. Teach them the ethics, teach them the American way. I get that. And I get culture. I understand all of that. But their communication is an issue. You should be able to communicate out on these roads, period.
Can't speak English. You
Point
shouldn't
blank. Whatever, whether it's sign language, I don't care. You should be able to communicate properly. Okay? I agree. And again, I agree with the way the government gets these companies, and they get them the money, and they make sure that they get money, and they funnel people in to fill these seats. Agree with you. And I think a lot of it's wrong because they're not teaching them, for one, safety. The safety aspect just goes out the window. Okay. It goes out because of the communication issue right away out the gate. Yeah. And the fact that they pump them in just like cattle. You're not going to absorb the training you need. You're not going to absorb the knowledge you need. You're not going to get exactly what you need. In the end, it puts out an unsafe driver. And for me, again, we go back to the professional. I go back to you guys, the Knights of the Highway that my wife made this week. People like Keith Becker right here, like Keith Becker, like Ellie, like you, with your family, with your son. Okay. You guys respect this industry. You teach the code of the road all the way down, all the way through and through. So again, where are we at? How does this industry get back to being safer and actually getting some change within it? Because we're exposing problems, and that's what we're talking about. You want to open that can? We can. I mean, we're not even going to where we're supposed to go, but how do we fix that, Ron?
You can't. The government controls it. As long as the government has their thumb on it, it's going to be hard. Okay, we can pass a law and vote it. Are they going to vote for it? Are they going to stand behind it? No, because it's all about money. Okay, somebody down the line is making the big bucks on it. Okay, and what gets me mad is I'm paying for that. You're paying for that. Mr. Rogers is paying for that. Our tax dollars is paying for that yo-yo driving that truck over there. And what gets me mad is a lot of people say, well, how come they can't drive? It's not they can't drive. These people come from Europe, third world countries that don't have no roads, potholes. I mean, just go look at, okay, you see some nice highways in Australia a little bit, in England and France. But above that, once they get outside of Paris and London and all that, I mean, they have no roads. Those people drive 300 miles a day. It takes them 12 hours to drive 300 miles a day. We drive that in 5. Okay. So they get over here, they see these big super highways, and all of a sudden, you know what? We're super truckers. Look at these beautiful roads. They're going way too fast for what they can handle.
It bothers me because what you're mentioning, you're talking about the money and stuff like that, and the disregard again for the safety. Okay, it makes no sense because basically they're putting not too much of a value on life. All right, it's not just them running these highways the way they do. It's what happens when they kill a family. All right. And then these groups and these organizations decide to go after truck drivers. Okay. And it affects the professional, and then the regulations come down, and it's a snowball effect. It's a ripple effect. Yeah. Okay. But now we can go back to the 4-wheelers. Let's go back to that. We already know that that's there. The 4-wheelers, with the way things are going right now, some things have happened in certain areas of the country to make these 4-wheelers, these people at home, a little more appreciative. All right, Ron, I'm going to play a video. All right, we're going to take a video. We're going to play this video. And because I love what you're talking about, I agree with a lot what you're saying. But back to the 4-wheelers, there's not much we can do about the government unless maybe if drivers decide to unite and get together and actually make a difference and step up to the plate. But you need the general public behind you too, in my opinion. And I think that you're getting the attention you need. We'll be right back after this video right here.
Y'all thought the pandemic was bad? You want to know what happens when trucks stop rolling? Take a good, long, hard look.
It's the
Empty shelves, empty cases. When the trucks don't roll, everything goes out of stock. Families can't eat. People can't buy the things that they need. So the next time you decide to badmouth a trucker, you might want to stop and think about how it's going to affect your family if they don't roll, if they don't get to the stores. You should thank a trucker. I know I do.
I want to thank the lady for making that video.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a feedback. Ron, okay, we're good now. You had to use that. Okay. All right, Ron, what do you think of that video? What do you think about this? What do you think about what we're going through as a country right now with this weather that caused this?
Well, there's your strike. There's your strike, 3-day strike. It's all it takes is 3 days. I mean, no, that's another can of worms. But I mean, where'd you get the video? I guess is my first question.
It's out of Texas. It's out of Texas. It's a Walmart in Texas.
Yeah, but is it on a trucking page or
no, my wife, it was sent to me. It was sent to me. It's going viral. It's going viral. I mean. It was on Channel 5. It's been on numerous outlets.
They need to take that video and put it everywhere as they can so four-wheelers can see it. We know what we're doing. We know what we have to go through to get that load there. We know what we have to do to do our job. We need to show them what we do as our job. And that's the biggest problem is education, I find. Okay. It starts all the way back to if your driver's ed course, why don't they teach anything about trucks in there? You can go for a motorcycle license and they'll teach you a little bit about that. Why don't they teach anybody about trucks? Why don't they show videos about trucks? What happens when truck stops? What happens? This is a perfect example. Why don't they take a video like this and show it to a PTA meeting to mothers or any assembly where you're going to have a large quantity of people that you can educate them? It's education. It all boils down to education. The video's perfect. I love it. It's great. Appreciate it. But it's got to go to the right channels. But like you say, if we can get that part with our part, what people don't realize, the trucking industry is over 6 million licensed CDL drivers today. 6 million. If you can get the public in with you a little bit, 2 or 3 million, that's a pretty big amount of people. And the trucking industry is the largest workforce in the world. We are the largest workforce in the world. We're bigger than any union. We're bigger than anything else. We are the largest. And why can't we control our industry? We can't, because you can't get 10 drivers sitting around a table to agree on the same cup of coffee. That's the problem. Okay. I know everything. This cup of coffee is better. I know everything. This cup of coffee. Look, if you can't get along with 10 drivers, what are you going to do with 6 million? And that's the problem. We got 6 million. We could get things done. We could, with the right people lobbying for us, with the right people in the government lobbying for us, pushing for us. We could get anything done. We're 6 million strong. And that's what I find. Education.
You said something, and I like what you said. You said the video needs to get into the right hands for the education. Okay, for the education to the people that what these drivers actually go through, what I'm getting at. Okay, if we could get this person, if we get the media behind us, on top of the general public, to get messages out instead of and drivers helping each other and drivers getting messages out themselves, we might get somewhere, like you said. The unfortunate thing is, I feel like they fall in love with us. America will fall in love with the truckers. They fell in love with us in the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh yeah, they
truckers
fed
there
us,
were heroes.
To us everything. We're heroes.
We're heroes. All that
stuff.
All that. But then they turn around and yank drivers out of trucks in the riots. Okay. And then they turn the cameras around on these trucks, jumping trucks and not explaining the training behind these drivers, the issues behind this industry. They just want to put certain things in the spotlight at certain times to fit their agendas.
Because what gets me mad is next week when the store shelves are full,
Correct. They'll forget
hear
about
about it no
this.
more.
You won't hear
truck
about this.
drivers.
Once the sun is shining and the roads are open, it's going to be fine.
Gone. That's the
How
problem.
okay, so we have a problem.
Yeah.
How do we keep this connection? Because I know there's a connection. I know things right now people are connecting. We're hurting as a country in a whole in many, many ways. And we're uniting in a lot of ways, but we're also being separated in a lot of ways. But what I want to say is right now is the highlighting of it. Okay. And it's spilling over. All right. It's not just there, Ron. It's also here.
Oui, il m'attend tout le temps.
Huh?
Yeah.
See it?
And we do that a lot up here, Wayne. I mean, we don't see too much on the road unless something like that happens, okay? But up here, the trucking industry up here, like where I'm from, that's an everyday thing. Chicken stew.
I get that,
We
but
do that all the time.
well, it's not an everyday thing. Here's what we're missing.
Yeah.
These people are coming out because these drivers are stranded.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not every day that drivers are stranded. They're coming out and feeding them.
Yeah.
Okay. These are families. These are people that, in the time of need. This is Indiana. This is Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay. We had Texas running out of food, and then we had people bringing truckers food.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we haven't. I just don't know why we don't capture this, and how come we cannot keep this same energy for this industry? How? What is it that we can do?
That's what I mean. We got to find that loophole where we can get in and grab it. The thing is, like I said, once the grocery stores are full of food and once the snow melts and the drivers are moving back and forth, these people are going to go home. They're not going to really forget about us, but they're going to say, well, they don't need us anymore. Well, we really do. You don't have to bring in food on a stormy day. Why don't you bring in food on a nice sunny day too? When they're sitting at a truck stop all weekend, they're shut down. They can't go nowhere for the weekend. They're stuck at a Flying J or a Pilot, and all you got is Subway or friggin' deli hamburgers and dried up old chicken wings. And, why don't you that's the problem. We don't have those facilities we used to have anymore. We're down to this fast food crap.
Okay. So do you think that this? Okay, so you're saying that this is part of our problem, because they don't have the amenities that they need in the beginning. So it creates a hostile environment, an unhappy driver. They don't have really what they need out there. They do, but they have to make sure that they are vigilant and taking care of themselves. And they've really learned that this past few weeks. What?
How many people cook in their trucks now?
Well, hold on. I'm meeting a lot that do, Ron. That's actually I'm meeting a lot that do. There's a lot of people that cook in trucks, but
that's what I'm saying. Why? Because we don't have the mom and pop restaurants anymore.
Right. I thought you said how many people don't. Okay.
We had no choice. We have to fend for ourselves.
Right. And but you guys are some of the most you guys are resourceful people I know. Okay, you guys get it. But like you said, okay, so do you think, let's go back to what we were talking about. Do you think that the way that you're treated between truck stops to what's available to you, and when you do go to like a Walmart to get your stuff, they're trying to chase you out of there too, boot your truck, all that, it just seems like, do you feel that they're just making it harder and it just continues this vicious cycle?
Well, let me get back to one thing you said. Truck stops. There's no more truck stops.
Our travel centers.
Travel centers, travel plazas. When did they become travel centers and travel plazas? 10, 15 years ago. Why? Because we knew where all the good restaurants were at. We knew where all the truck drivers years ago. We all knew where the mom and pop little stainless steel diners on the side of Highway 30 or on Highway 20, where we would stop in and eat. They all had truck parking. The good restaurants, whether it be Petro, Flying J had a good restaurant before, and then TA. Remember the old 76s, the Sapp brothers and all them.
Right.
And now everybody, the John Q public. Okay, well, the drivers know where good food is, so they started barreling in there. And then the truck stop started seeing, oh, geez, here's a new avenue for us to make money. We're going to bring them in, and now they're travel centers. But the problem is with that is these people that stop in the middle of the summer during summer break for 12 weeks during summer, they're not going to be there when it's January. They're not going to be there in February and December. The truck driver is going to be there, though. We buy 150 through 200 gallons of fuel and spend $500-600 there. That car is going to spend $60 on a meal. We're going to spend $600. We got to pay for a shower sometimes. What's up with that? You know, we got to eat a hamburger out of the deli now or Subway.
So you believe that this is part of the problem that creates this hostile environment, because maybe that's why drivers aren't talking to as much anymore. No. You know, when that's actually should be a reason why they should be talking to each other. I mean, these drivers should be swapping recipes.
I think it's the diet. The diet is creating that. Part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Food. Yeah.
Well, what about but now here we are in the midst of COVID. Things are shut down. I mean, you guys, it's minimal out there. I mean, it's literally minimal. I've lived at a truck stop this past year. I've only been out of a truck stop for about a month now. And I'm going to go be back out in these truck stops here soon. And it's minimal. It's minimal.
Yeah.
So, again, it seems like the drivers get the shit end of the stick, Ron.
Yeah.
So, again, we're at this problem with no solution.
And then all these little mom and pop places, like I said, we used to be able to go into, they build these big multi-malls around them. They force these places to close. They put curbings, 2-foot high curbings and the width of a car, so you can't get in there with a truck. Even if there was a Bonanza, you could get in a steakhouse or a Ponderosa or an Outback. You can't get in there because the curbings, and you can't get into these malls. And even if you did get in there, well, you can't park here, driver. You can't park there. And well, you know, it's just gone to the point right now that it's sad. It's sad from where we came from to where we're now. And good night. Something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. I don't know. I mean, I'm here to fight. I'm here to help, do what I can. But I'm way up here in northern Maine in Canada, the middle of no man's land. But
hauling them sticks.
Yeah, hauling them sticks.
Yeah, but you got so much. You got so much experience between both sides. Nothing's changed, Ron. It seems to be getting worse.
Yeah.
Again, I wish that I had the magic potion. I wish I had the solution to give all the drivers, the magic potion to give all the drivers to start loving each other again. I think that it starts with actually respecting each other, and I'll harp that until the end. I think there is a solution. I think the solution is to rally around the safety issue within the industry of trucking. All right, and get on board together and fight the safety. Let the general public know exactly what you're facing, exactly what they're allowing out on the road, between not just the four-wheelers, but also the truck drivers. Okay, we sat here and talked about how much, basically, it doesn't even sound like truck drivers even like truck drivers anymore. Okay, it sounds like truck drivers hate truck drivers nowadays. There's more trucker on truck hate than there is camaraderie. Yeah. That camaraderie.
All these electronic ass whoopings going on the radio. Gonna beat you up, and that's another subject.
It is. They're Rainbow Rambos, Radio Rambos. But the thing is I do think there's a solution, and I think it's fellowship between each other, between the brothers and sisters of these highways, to get together on the grounds of safety. You say, everybody says it. Drivers can't agree on a cup of coffee. No, they cannot. But a majority, 8 out of 10 drivers that I've talked to across this country in the past 2 years, they will sit down and they will talk safety all day long. Yeah. And it's mostly, it is a lot of the older ones, but it's even the younger ones that come out here and they're in it for the lifestyle within the career, and they realize what they got themselves into, and they do reach out to the older folks. They do talk to the veterans of the industry because they want to stay in the industry, and they find out that that's a way to stay in the industry, because the only way they're going to advance in their industry, if they don't have the family and stuff like that, is if they get with the right people within this industry. But again, the problem with the industry is the lack of respect for each other, and it's so jaded and so hard. But again, I just feel like the safety, we can get together on that, and we can knock that out of the park. What do you think?
But the big problem is with that too, Wayne, is 20 years ago, you could go into Petro, TA, any of these truck stops, and you could see 20 guys sitting around the bar at the Petro. You could go to TA, it was the same thing. You could have 20 guys sitting there. I mean, we'd be sitting there for hours just talking about what's going on the road, this and that. Now you don't have that no more. You don't have that no more.
Yeah, they're taking that counter away.
They're taking the counter away, taking some tables out. They don't want you there. For some reason, they don't want us there. And I don't know why. We're their bread and butter. We're their lifeline. We're their bread and butter. Why? I don't understand that. But like you say, in order to get back together, where are we going to get back together? You know, that's the point. Where are we going to sit down on a Saturday afternoon, 20 drivers that are... I remember years ago, we used to go in the back of the 76 or the TA. It's a beautiful sunny day. Walk out 3-4 barbecues. One guy would go buy meat. One guy would go buy potatoes and vegetables. We'd all get together, 10, 15 drivers, have a big old barbecue Saturday and Sunday. Can't even do that no more. Truck stops won't even let you do that no more.
I agree. I think they're
That's when we got together and talked.
I agree. They're distancing us more and more. All right, let's go over to comment. Let's go over to John Freese real quick. John. All right, let's go over to John there, Ron. All right, John Freese says, you're right there, Ron, but here's what's happened. They changed all them damn good restaurants into fast food spots now, and you can't get me to eat junk food. I hate it. It's not good for us. It's killing the driver, making them obese. What do you got to say about that, Ron?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. You know, we have no place to go anymore to sit down and talk. It's fuel up, grab a hamburger, grab a slice of pizza, get in your truck and get out. You know, they don't even have the truck parking anymore like we used to have.
Right. Please talk about parking. All right, let's go to one more comment over here. Rodney Harris says, look at all the restaurants that close between 8 and 10 at night. It's becoming more and more common. They are beginning to think trucking is an 8 to 5 job. What do you say about that, Ron?
Maybe we should work 8 to 5. What happens? Hey, I'm all for working 8 to 5. I don't feel like driving at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning when the sun comes up and your eyes are this big. You know, hey, I'll work 8 to 5. See what happens. I think we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we know exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
All right, you know what? Let's see if we can bring Jerry back in. We're hitting the bottom of the second hour. We're hitting the bottom of the second hour. Let's see if we can bring Jerry. And Jerry, I see you back there. You want to think you maybe try to come in? You got to shake your head there, pal. Okay, here, let's bring Jerry in. How about it, Jerry? Oh, you sound great right now. Good evening, Jerry. It's glad to have you back. I'm glad you stuck around. I appreciate you for sticking around. Let me make sure I let you know that I know it's not easy sitting back there. We can ramble out here. Jerry, you said you were saying earlier you've been around the trucking industry since you were 3. Obviously, you had family in the industry. You've been behind the wheel for 20, I want to say, right?
Correct.
You've been listening to us tonight. Where are you at, Jerry? Go and jump in and give it a little bit of what you're feeling.
I feel that, the general public really don't want us out here either. They think they can just go to the store and buy what they want. They don't realize how it gets to the store. They don't know the whole chain from the farm to the store. They just know that, hey, I can go to the store and I have a piece of plastic and I can pay for it. They don't realize the job that we do. They don't realize the hours that we run. I run produce. Sometimes I have to drive my straight 11. I hate stopping for my 30-minute break. I don't have time. If the produce goes bad in the trailer, I have to pay for it. Right. So people don't realize what kind of pressure we're under. We don't want to be in their way, and We're just trying to do our jobs like they get up every morning and do their jobs.
The struggle's real. It really is. It's really, the struggle is real. You know what I'm saying? I like what you said. I really do. I like the fact that you said they don't realize that you're out there working. You know, and the only thing that you're really asking for is a little bit of space in your workplace, just a little bit of respect at work. It's not like you go over to their office and be like, hey, get out of the way. I just want to come in and wreck your desk and, hey, have a good day. That would be like
Very
doing
true,
that.
Wayne.
I mean, I mean, drivers should be able to go into offices once a week and just destroy desks and throw computers around and give them the bird on the way out. What do you guys think? Do you think that they would kind of get a little bit of a sense of what you go through then?
Make me happy.
Probably not.
But seriously, I mean, it blows me away because now they're like, oh, praise truck drivers, praise the drivers, drivers this, drivers that. But you know what? I think I'm hoping and I'm praying that the energy stays and sticks because the pandemic's not gone. Okay, and
No,
I think that if the pandemic's still here, and they're depending on the essentials of the essentials, because without the drivers, nobody performs their jobs. The surgeries, to the doctors, to the lawyers, even if DOTs can't write their tickets or drink their coffee without the driver. So, do you think that possibly that the energy we could carry out this energy of the appreciation of the driver? Because I'll tell you this right now, it's happening. You guys are getting a lot of attention, especially over on this page on the driver's side, because hopefully I have it right here. It says, while you were sleeping, they are hauling it. It's got 75,000 likes, 3,600 comments, and 20,000 shares, along with other posts. Do you think this energy can carry out? Do you think we have an opportunity to capture something here? Go ahead, Ron.
Hope so. That's what we're praying for. That's what we're working for. That's what we want. You know, we want to be able to get it all together, all get to the right place. And, you know, and like you said, it's just, we got to find the right door to open. We got to open that right door. We can find that right door, we'd be all right, I think. You know, that's the main thing.
What do you think, Jerry?
I think what's going to happen is Texas will be grateful. But if you look at other states that aren't going through this right now, I can tell you today, just coming from Florida to Georgia, my truck can do the speed limit, and I still got told I was number one 3 times.
At least you know you're number one.
Yeah, I know I'm
number
number
at
one.
least you still have a fan club. All right. So, but the thing is it's crazy because some of the stuff I'm seeing, like out of this post right here, you're getting comments like this right here. Okay, it says right here, "Thank God for all the truckers. Y'all are truly our lifeline. I give you all a standing ovation for your commitment and dedication. That's why I pray for all of you each and every night. Out on those roads, going through all kinds of weather conditions, putting your own life at stake. I applaud all you and thank you." I just think that, again, we have another unbalance in the world. Like we have an unbalance in the trucking community, the professional. I think we don't just have enough in numbers that do actually appreciate us and that value good old American truck drivers or American ways. I think that's. Go ahead, Ron.
I think, though, you have to ask yourself, these people commenting on these posts, I'd be kind of curious to see if they don't have a relative, whether it be a father, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, or somebody that they know personally that drives a truck and has an idea of what's going on, somewhat of an idea. I'd like to know what the numbers are.
Marguerite says, "I have a whole family of truck drivers, and we all pray for their safety. Thanks to all the truckers that choose to be a leader for our country's food on the table and much more. May God bless you all." To my dad, the days he was a trucker, always absent, but when he'd reunite with the family, we were the best nights under the stars. He was and still is such a great provider. Thanks to those who are delivering goods across the countries to provide not only for their families, but for others. Stay safe out there, and thank you. Another one from Bonnie says, my daddy was a trucker for 47 years, finally retired a year ago. Now I'm married to a trucker, just starting in the business. I know the sacrifices they make and that their families make firsthand. Be safe out there, guys and gals. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. It's funny. Did you hear the chuckle from all the drivers? Did you hear it?
My point exactly.
Yeah, that's the point.
Oh God!
You have
Jerry,
to be in the industry to
we
appreciate
can
it.
use them, even though they're not drivers. We can still use those type of people, you know, because they add up to numbers too. I mean, if I'm one and I got 5 kids and 3 brothers and 2 sisters, well, geez, all of a sudden we're 15 there. We're a crowd of 15, not one. The voice of one turns into 15, even though they're from drivers' families, like you said. They're still 4-wheelers. I mean, they're still.
There's a lot.
You know what I
value
mean?
There. There's a lot of value there. Ron.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, I'm going to go to Justin Williams in the comments. He says, my dad side drove trucks, and now dad is back in a truck. And a special shout out to Justin Williams and to Dennis Hicks. They are starting over at Valley. They just wait for their drug test to come back. Justin Williams, another comment, says every owner operator is under pressure because we have to make sure the loads get there on time and to make sure that there is no damage on the load because they are on the line. Our butts are on the line for those loads. And I don't think a lot of people realize that out on the road. I don't think these 4-wheelers realize how much responsibility you're carting down that road, let alone an 80,000-pound bullet. What do you think, Jerry?
Well, yeah, they don't even realize how the trailer works. I've opened my doors to places, and people have never seen how much space is in a 53-foot reefer trailer. They didn't even know what a reefer was. They had no idea. And I go through and show them the truck and trailer.
I agree. I think that's cool. I think that the fact that you've been around since you were 3. What do you think? Saying that. How do you really feel about today's industry, Jerry? And where do you see it going?
I love the industry. I can't say that I love everybody out on the road, but I see it. It's going to get worse before it gets better. We're under pressure. But I was also going to say, just look to see how the general public treats veterans. It's the same thing. They're essential when they're protecting us, but as soon as that's done, they're not essential anymore.
Yeah, I say that all the time. And I try not to think about that because it's such a harsh reality. It is. It's a harsh reality. Just in general, the way people treat people, I don't feel like there's no empathy anymore. There's no, I just don't know where we got so detached from moral values and empathy and just good old American traditional ways of caring. Go ahead, Ron.
As long as we're there to serve their needs, as long as we serve their needs, they love us to death. When they don't need us no more, we're trash. Kick us to the curb. Get out of here. We don't want you here. We don't want you to park here. We don't want you around. But boy, oh boy, the shelves are empty now. Well, they're going to love us for about a week or 2. And after that, guess what? There'll be another crisis or another something down the road, and we'll be forgotten. Be a flood, a hurricane, or an earthquake. They won't even remember us.
I get what you're saying, Ron, but you know what? You'll never, ever, 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 ever not drive.
Nope.
Okay.
Till I die.
So we, all this complaining, technically, all this. Why are you still here, Ron?
Love the job. Love my job. Yeah.
Jerry, what makes you?
I love that. I mean, there's still good people. You still run into good people.
Thank you. Get it.
Even though there's less of them out there, you're still going to run into a truck stop, and you're still going to meet someone that speaks English to you and can at least carry on a conversation without bringing politics and this into it and all the crap. Just talk trucking. How you doing today? How's your day been? You doing okay? Your load's all right? You need any hand? You need help or anything? Just talk. Simple talk. It doesn't have to be college educated stuff we're talking about, physics and all that. Just how you doing, driver? How's your day? You know, where you been? You know, that's what's gone. That's gone.
Camaraderie is not nowhere near what it used to be. All right, now Jerry, what would you like to see from this industry? What would you like to see from this industry?
I like to go back 20 years. and
you're not going to. So, with that being said, we already know that one hand shooting the other. We'll see which comes first.
There's always hope, Wayne.
But okay,
but,
right.
You know, people like you, Wayne, that are on the outside of the industry looking in and helping us drivers, and even with like me and Ron in the back room, we were talking like we've known each other for years, and I think I've known him for about an hour and 37 minutes now. But I would like to see the industry get better. I'd like to see the government step out of it, or if the government wants to be in it, put people in the truck before they make decisions for us. They're always welcome to come ride with me. They're sleeping on the top bunk, and they're stopping when I want to, but it's going to take educating the people that make the rules for us. And it can't be the big mega carriers out there, because they're only looking after their dollar.
Go ahead, Ron. Sorry, Jerry. If I cut you off, sorry.
Jerry, like what Jerry was saying, they ought to come ride with us. I worked for the same company my dad was working for when I was younger. We had the owner of the company, and he was push. I mean, this guy was just, one of the worst ones I think I've ever had to work for. We were hauling vegetables out of Wisconsin back to our warehouse here in Maine, and we finally got mad and said, look, you think it's that good out there and the roads are that great? Why don't you come with us? And the man I respected the man, because he got in my truck for a week. But I told, like Jerry said, you're going to sleep when I sleep, you're going to eat when I eat, and you're going to go to the bathroom when I go to the bathroom. And that man rode there for a week with me, back and forth. And when we got back, he didn't push us no more. He had a lot more respect for us then.
Right.
And that's the problem. They sit behind a desk, their glasses, piece of paper. Well, it says here you can go from Davenport, Iowa to Grand Island, Nebraska in 7 hours. Yep, you can do it, driver. Oh, well, it's snowing. I can't see. Well, yeah, it says here you can do it. 7 hours. You got to be there. That's got to stop too.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Get in the truck and go for a ride. Even if it's for a couple days. Just a couple days. See that car cut you off. See that guy give you the fit, like Jerry said, give me the finger, I'm number one. I've always been number one in my company. I'm number one. I'm the only driver. Can't be number two unless my wife kicks me out. That's what I mean.
Let me go over to the comments real quick and go to Diana. Diana says, it's not that easy for the female driving force. What do you guys, go ahead, Jerry.
All right.
You wanted that
I
one bad. I got to take that. Okay there, Jerry.
I figured out I got to raise my finger to talk.
There you go. Jerry.
The host. Wait, hold on.
Don't count.
He's got technical difficulties all of a sudden.
I see how you
remember, Jerry. Controlling the buttons.
Go ahead, Jerry. I apologize. Go ahead.
I have a comment for that too, Wayne. But no, my girlfriend came to ride with me. We went to one truck stop, and this is to all the drivers out there. I was putting fuel in my truck. She went inside to go to the bathroom. She didn't even get to the bathroom before a driver made rude comments to her. And then she came out and told me. I went back into the truck stop. And for women drivers out there, I praise you guys, because I see it every day. You guys are hiding behind your curtains. You're unable to talk. It's just, it is rough. I welcome you guys to the industry. If you guys need help, I'm always out. My radio is always on. But I know as soon as you key up on the radio, someone's gonna.
There it is.
Commercial company. And it's just rude. Drivers need to have respect for women. You wouldn't say that stuff to your grandmother, because she would beat you with the board. You wouldn't say that stuff to your wife because you'd be divorced. You know, drivers need to respect the women that are out here. But first, they got to respect themselves.
Well, you said something. You know, I worked in the oil field with my ex-wife. We teamed, and we used to convoy for Chalk Mountain. So when we weren't teaming, then she had her truck, I had my truck. We'd hit that lease road, and that radio go on, and my wife was deaf at the time. My ex-wife was deaf; she couldn't hear. She couldn't hear the radio, and first female to do it in the trucking industry, in the oil field, and in OTR, hearing waiver, all that. But she'd hit that pad, that rig pad, and that radio would just, as them trucks leaving that site, you know, they pass stay on that lease road, they'd light up, "Hey baby, you know I got a bit," and it took everything in me, because I'm in the truck behind her. It took everything, not just to just yank my truck over into that lane and push that driver off. The things that she went through, and because drivers didn't know that we were married, so she'd be somewhere else, like over there, and the things they would say about her, and did not know her, my husband, were completely, were vile. And this is a man. Some of the things, it's just disgusting. But the things that they go through, I do applaud these women that are in this industry, and it is more of a struggle. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. The crap that they put up with is absolutely ridiculous. But the one thing I love about it is they took that seat, and they're not going nowhere. You can do what you want, say what you want, but those women drive trucks better than most men. Straight up. My wife made me look like a fool many, many old times out on that lease road. My ex-wife. Let me be clear. You know what I'm saying? But my point being is I think that was a great comment, and I think, Jerry, you nailed it. And Ron, how about your thoughts on women in this industry and what they've gone through, how far they've come?
They've come a long way, but they've had to work for it. Trust me. Some of them been out there for 20, 30 years, and they don't get anywhere near the respect that a guy that's been out there 10 years is going to get. And like you say, the minute they hear a woman's voice in a truck stop, forget it.
Well,
it's all the lot lizard, the garbage. I mean, trash. It just doesn't make any sense. And these poor girls and women, I mean, I'm telling you, they're tough to put up with that.
Right.
They're tough. I mean, either they turn the radio off, but you know they don't.
Here's how dirty and low.
Disrespectful.
Hold on. Here's how dirty and low and disrespectful some men are, and I'm going to put you out there. I got you on the hook. I've been waiting for it. Good evening to Jay Ryder over on YouTube. Jay Ryder has the balls to say, can Super Trucker Ron share any lot lizard piss bottle stories to his viewers tonight? Hold on, Ron. I got this one. Look, we could tell a few stories and stoop to your level, but we won't. But you are the problem within this industry, because I wanted to go right to you, and I wanted to go for your juggler. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the higher route. And this is why women have a problem in this industry. It's because of men like Jay Ryder that do things like this blatantly in the open. You're wrong. And what you do is you degrade this industry. You make professionals in the street look bad. And I hate to hear how lonely you are, but I couldn't help myself. Get it, Ron? Not Ron.
I'll answer that guy's question. I ain't afraid to answer.
Ron,
yeah.
Do not stoop to the level that he wants you to go to.
No, I'm not going to stoop. He wants to know. I'm as honest as they're going to come. I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. I've tried a few pills on the road. I'm not going to deny that. And as far as it comes to lot lizards, I've been out here 45 years, and I can probably count them on these 3 fingers here. Okay? And as far as piss bottles, I'm not going to lie. Every driver has had to piss in the bottle. I work in the woods. I don't have no toilets for me to go. I'm out in Mother Nature. So, yes, I've had to use piss bottles. But I've always emptied them on the lawn where the dogs and animals go do their thing. I go empty my piss bottles. I throw them in a garbage can. I don't throw them on the ground. Don't throw them on a ramp. And that's the way I do it. And when you want to come walk 7 million miles in my shoes and tell me you never pissed in the bottle and you never chased a lot lizard around, And I'm talking 30 years ago. There ain't nothing in the parking lot running around now that I want to touch. I'm a happily married man, been married to my wife for over 30 some odd years, and that's the way it is, buddy.
And
Want
it
to walk
falls
in
on
my
both.
shoes? Come walk in my shoes any day.
Well, it falls on both sides. It's not just women working these parking lots either. So just don't put it on women. There's men taking themselves though. But what I do want to address here is women will be respected here. We will not tolerate it.
No.
Okay. On top of that, the things that go on in a truck stop between human trafficking and certain drivers within this industry need to be addressed and need to be talked about.
Yep.
Okay, because that's a lot of that stuff that goes on in those truck stop or travel centers. Okay, you don't know the situation that person's in. You don't know who's watching them. You don't know who's going to beat them, or if they've actually degraded themselves to that. Regardless, at the end of the day, we all need to step up our game and love a little more. All right. I wanted to go for him so bad, and I wanted to light him up. But in the end, we're
not afraid of what I've done.
We have to be the change we want to see in this industry. Otherwise, we're just a bunch of talking heads on a panel that don't mean crap to this industry. The one thing that this is this is a driver-driven panel that's not persuaded by sponsorship or corporations. This is from the drivers of this industry, and this is why I do it, because this is the change that needs to happen. More people need to pick up platforms and create platforms like this. Jerry, you have anything to say?
Oh, I do, Wayne. I've been out here for 20 years. I can count how many times I've been with the lot lizard. 0. I've seen them. You know, I feel sorry for him. You know, but his piss bottle question, he needs to really ask this: why do drivers piss in a bottle?
Yeah.
Well, most of the places we go to now, we can't even go inside.
Correct.
And you know, there's nowhere for us to go to the bathroom. It's awful. We're disrespected at shippers and receivers. And you know, it's again, we're essential workers when they need us.
Where's the essential amenities?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
Why do we have to pay for a shower?
Pay. So, you know, but again, here we are. We get this, and it's important. And you know what? I'm glad that happened, because you've elevated us, and you don't know what you've done. And thank you to you. Where's he at? To Jay Ryder. I appreciate you for forcing, or not forcing us, but just raising our bar to be professional. I appreciate it. And I'm going to go to Deanna's comment. I hope Diana's comment. She says, thank you. And she says, here, right here. And I want you gentlemen to hear this. She says, thank you. This tears me up. It's so rare to have real men respect me in this industry. You'll find it here. If not, then, well, we need to stop what we're doing. How do you feel about that, guys?
It's all about respect. I've been saying that for 45 years. You got to have respect. They're out there doing the same job we're doing. They can do it. If they can do it, hey, they're no worse than anybody else. You know, they learn. They're willing to put the time and the effort in to do it, and they're doing it. They're half the size of most of us men. Okay, they'll strap down a load. They'll chain down a load. They'll do what they have to do, and they get it done. I've seen guys twice their size. Oh, Jesus, I can't strap that down. Anybody give me a hand and slide my tandems? Come on, man. You weigh 250 pounds. You can't slide your tandems? You got to have somebody help you? I mean, of course you need help. I don't have a problem helping a guy, but don't whine about it. These girls, they get out here, 9 out of 10 of them won't even ask you. You'll see them. I've seen them under the trailer, pounding with hammers, trying to pull the handle, and just too proud to turn and ask a man to help them. I don't have a problem. Ask me. I'll help anyone. I'll help a guy. Doesn't matter. Don't be afraid to ask. And that comes with the respect. They earned it. Give it to them. I want respect. Treat me the same way that you want me to treat you. We'll be on good terms. That ain't a problem.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah, I agree with Ron. You know, they're out here. They deserve the same respect. They're putting in the miles too. Matter of fact, Wayne, you showed a video of a log hauler the other day, and you saw her pull down on the bar. It took everything for her to pull. Yes. And, but she's still out here. She's doing something I wouldn't do. I don't like hauling logs. And, more power to the women that's out here.
I agree. I almost think that I want to say that I still have that up. I don't. All right, look, I agree with you, and I agree with what we're talking about, and we're going to take a quick break because we're creeping up at the top of the second hour already, and I do want to get to comments. We're going to go 2 hours tonight. We're going to close it off at the 2 hour mark. So, guys, get your final comments in. You guys get your final thoughts in, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about this right here.
To you, this is a driver's seat, but to us, it's a captain's chair. A call center for friends and family. A place where we laugh when some say hello, and where we've cried when others have said goodbye. We spend a lot of hours in it, wondering, thinking, and contemplating if all this was worth it. I've grown in this chair, matured in this chair, and I've seen things in this chair that most people will never see their whole lives. So yes, that's why they call it the driver's seat. Because this is my seat. This is my home away from home. And if you're driving truck, it always will be.
All right, before we go any further, I want to say a special shout out to Mario from iTrucker. I see you over in the comments, brother. It's good to see you. If you guys haven't checked out iTrucker, make sure to check out iTrucker or the group Past, Present, and Future Truck Drivers. Shout out to you, Mario. I see you in here. Good to see you, brother. It really is. And real quick to Chucky, a friend of mine. I really had a good time with you in Vegas, Chucky, when we did meet. I wish I still had that video clip of us there. I don't, but he says, I love this show. Made me become more social with other drivers. Get it. All right, the captain's chair, guys. Captain's chair. Ron, what do you want to know? What do you got to say about the captain's chair? What have you seen?
That's exactly what it is. It's the captain's chair. You're the captain of your ship. You're the captain of what you're doing, and it's a learning seat. It's where you go to school. You sit in a chair. You go to school to learn. Well, when you sit in that chair, you're learning. You got to keep an open mind. You got to be willing to learn. You're going to see things you wish you didn't see. You're going to see things you happy you saw, scenery, beautiful places that. I had my son in a truck, and he'd go to school and tell his teacher, I saw the Statue of Liberty this week. He was 5 years old in kindergarten. His teacher, when we went to Paradise, said, boy, he said, your son is a dreamer, huh? He said he saw the Statue of Liberty. I said, did you bother to ask him what his father does? My wife told him. She said, no. He's a truck driver. I said, his father took him to New York City to see the Statue of Liberty. That kid's been in more states than you'll probably ever be in your life. But that's just it. It's a place where you get to see nice things, you get to learn. And like he says, it's your captain's seat. It's a place where most guys are at peace. They're comfortable being in it, and that's the way I feel. And can't take me out of it unless they take my license away. I'm going to be in it as long as they open the door. I'm going to jump in.
Jerry, go ahead about the captain's seat. What have you seen in that seat?
What have I seen in the seat? I've seen a beautiful country. I've been in all 48 states. I've slept in all 48 states. I've looked at the Statue of Liberty and seen the graveyard on the other side of the highway. But it's a captain's seat. You make the decisions for the truck. You can't let your dispatchers push you to do anything that's unsafe. You are the captain of this ship. And if you let people push you around you're going to get hurt, and you're going to hurt others.
Yes, I agree. Jerry, I want to ask you this. Will you be willing to come back and join us on another panel sometime soon?
Whenever you want, Wayne.
Okay, because
7 days a week.
I want to have you back again. I think you did great tonight, and I want to say thank you for starting the Zello CB app for the driver's side. We've been talking a little bit here and there. We're going to get to know each other a little bit more through that, and I do encourage drivers to check out the driver's side CB app over on Zello. which Jerry started. Jerry, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Basically, it's a free app. It's for Android. It's for Android and iOS. It's easy to download. It's easy to operate. It's basically like holding a mic. You can use it with your headset. If you don't like to talk, you can text through it. Yeah, you press that little button that Wayne's showing and talk. And you probably just heard my phone go off because Wayne was talking to me.
Breaker.
I actually have my phone turned down, but my phone's always on. Wayne can call me anytime.
I think that's pretty cool. I appreciate you.
But
does that work for iPhones too, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And there is a link that I think Sheila posted up on the driver's side. Now, when I made the page, I forgot the S, so it's driver's side.
Okay, so it's driver without the S. Okay. Yeah, see, a lot of people get that wrong. A lot of people miss that. And the reason why it's called the driver's side, because every driver's side is different. And hopefully we get that CB app to grow, that channel to grow. What made you turn me on to that? Because you told me a story about that. Can you tell the folks tonight about that? I want to say Twisted Trucker.
Yeah, Twisted Trucker. He's a trucker from Florida. He has this dream to unite truckers again. He has a great dream. He has a great channel. And he moderates his channel very well. I listen to it daily. When I first logged into their channel, what I heard is there was a driver in the snowstorm in San Antonio. He broke a belt. No one could bring him a belt. So he was sitting out on the side of the interstate for 6 hours. And I think that night it was like 15 degrees. So once the truck cools down, you start freezing. Hypothermia can set in. Well, through the app, the driver was able to mark his location, and they reached out to their resources and got someone to go pick him up when all the roads were shut down. The tow trucks wouldn't come out. They actually found someone that went out, picked that driver up, and took him to a warm spot, and then took him back to his truck with the part the next day. And that driver, survived. There was another incident the other night. A driver up in Ohio, guy blew a tire, and he pulled off to the side of the road, and then he did a 90-degree turn across the interstate. My friend from the app went through his trailer, and I'll send you those pictures later, Wayne.
Wow.
But he survived. We stayed in contact with him through the app. He had no clothes. He only had what he had in the accident. The next day, a driver from the app took him new clothes. They drove 4 hours, I think it was 4 hours out of the way to just take that driver clothes. So there are drivers out here that care.
Oh yeah.
So the app does work. It lets you put your location in. When they're talking, if someone has a distress, the channel goes silent. And until that driver gets help. And we all work together to get that driver help. And that's what I want to see for the driver's side.
I want to see it too, and I think it's communication. Again, it's new school with an old school twist, in my opinion, and that's what we're about. We're about the communication. We're about help trying to lift people up and communicate in ways that the younger generations are, because maybe we could bleed over as old schoolers with a new school twist. I appreciate you, Jerry. Again, I want to invite you back for another night. Real quick before I let you go, Jerry, because I'm going to let you go and I'm going to wrap this up. If you could give us one positive message for the trucking industry, what would it be?
Stay safe. Know your surroundings. Get out and look. And make a friend in the trucking industry. I've made Wayne. He's not available anymore.
I want to say, Jerry, for stopping by. And, Jerry, we'll talk again tomorrow, okay? We'll talk some in the morning. And,
right.
Jerry,
thank you, Ron, for paving the way.
No problem, buddy. Anytime. Still here.
Always remember this. You're the heartbeat of America, and to be treated that way. Have a good night, Jerry. Thank you. Back to you, Ron, real quick. Oh, I popped him back in. back to you, Ron. I want to ask you this, Ron. What do you think is the most important thing that needs to change in the trucking industry?
Training, education, and training. Without that, we're not going anywheres. I hate to say it, but without that, we're not going anywheres. We had the training when we were young. Like I said, we learned from our granddads, our uncles, our dad, our parents. We worked on farms. Not everybody's lucky enough to be a farmer child or raised on a farm, but that's where we got our education. And now the education's not there. I feel that the education and the training, that is the biggest thing that hurts us right now. It's just putting all these guys out there. Some of them never drove on snow. Some of them don't know how to, never chained a load down. It's on the job training and on the job. This isn't a job where you go to get on the job training. You don't get on the job training in a truck. You do something wrong, you're going to kill somebody here.
I
And
agree.
that's what I feel. That's what I feel.
And I feel like our brother Charles Bundy, he might want to get ready. I'm going to bring him here in a minute to let him say hello to everybody. They're also yanking the wrong people out of the seat, for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? I know my brother Charles deserves to be in the seat, and I can't wait for him to get back in the seat. But I'm going to bring him in to say hello to you real quick and to make sure that he gets to stop by at least, because he's been back there all night. Charles, good evening, brother.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Charles,
How you doing, Mr. Ron?
How you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
doing all right.
What'd you think of the show?
It was excellent. It actually come out very, very educational, and I'm glad to hear that your son's all right there, Mr. Ron.
Yeah.
I'm glad everything else is working out with him. I love hearing your story. There's a lot of knowledge that we see that's behind you. I've talked to you in other groups, but there's a lot of knowledge behind this man, and it needs to get out there, because there's a lot of things that he can actually come and bring to life. And it just puts another aspect of look into my eyes on different situations.
What do you think of the speed limiters they got up there, Charles? They're limited.
Only if I can get used to being in kilometers. That's the only problem.
65, Charles.
I think I'm cruising along at 100, and I'm only doing like 80, maybe 6 in between
62
here somewhere.
100 is 62, Charles.
Charles, what year was that?
162, yeah,
Yeah. Charles, what year was that truck we saw today?
That's a 1961 white.
61 white.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of roaming around to do, Charles. Charles, if you could say anything to the trucking industry, what would it be?
Everybody needs to communicate, and we've started seeing a lot of that going on with the storms that have hit in Texas and going north. People need to communicate with each other.
Breaker.
CB is number one. Cell phone is number two. Because if you can't get a hold of someone on the CB and let them know what's going on, the least you can do is notify 911 and let them know that something's going on. A lot of people don't realize it.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, how you doing there? Yeah.
Real quick, Charles.
I got you. I'm
on there. What are we playing here? I get it. Yeah, I love that first car phone. I love that. My dad had one of those in the studio, so it was great. Charles, you've been running around Nashville. You've been running around Knoxville. You've been running around 80. You've been running into Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina. What have you been seeing lately this week with all the weather and stuff like that?
A lot of people not paying attention, not slowing down, thinking it's still nice and smooth, and it's not. It's a rolling skateboard.
Yeah.
And these people are not paying attention. Some of them have been truckers that I've seen, but a lot of it's four-wheelers.
Wait, hold on.
A lot of it's four-wheelers.
He said it's like a rolling skateboard or like skiing on the I-10.
Hey, T! Come on!
Wait, here comes the truck. Hold on, here it comes. Get it, CFI. Get it, driver. Get it. You gotta be shitting me, right? What do you think that driver?
That driver said, I'm putting it high gear and getting it. I ain't waiting.
But what I wanted to say,
Hell
Charles,
has frozen over. Texas
yeah.
is frozen.
Mhm.
There's people skiing on I-10.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between a 4-wheel drive vehicle, Charles, and a 2-wheel drive vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
You got an extra set of tires that pulls. And it
No.
also helps you keep stable.
It's a
No.
joke, obviously. What is it?
No.
Ron?
The difference between a 4-wheel drive and a 2-wheel drive is a 4-wheel drive, you're going to need twice the amount of tow cable to pull him out of the ditch because he went in that fast.
Oh, is that what?
He went in twice as
That's
far.
bad, Ron.
Twice as far.
Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Charles, we got to get out there. I think we're going somewhere tomorrow at Mama, right?
Yep.
Where are we going?
We're going to go down to Gatlinburg, somewhere around in that area.
Okay.
But there's probably, I want to say, at least 10, 12 different truck stops. We'll be passing different ones. So you'll be getting your truck pouring in tomorrow.
Charles, I just wanted to make sure you came in and stopped by tonight. I want to say thank you for handling the way you do, juggling things backstage with other drivers, stuff like that. I thank you, Charles, for that, and I appreciate you. I really do. I seen you in the comments tonight and stuff like that. I seen you backstage juggling, and I do appreciate you, Charles. And you deserve to be back in that seat more than anybody that I know. I appreciate you, brother, and I love you. You got anything to say?
If not, I have to go play in the woods with Ron.
There you go. We'll let you drive up here. We'll get you an automatic, Charles.
It don't matter. I'll play with a stick too.
Oh,
Trying to make
boy.
you feel
All right, Charles, say goodnight, Charles.
Good night, guys.
We
Night,
love you,
buddy.
brother.
Yep.
All right, Ron.
Yep.
Final thoughts. I'm gonna go to the comments here in a minute before I leave, guys. So I'll get to a last couple of your comments. But Ron, I want to say first of all, thank you for taking the time out and all the time that you spend with us over here on the driver's side. All the information you send my wife, how helpful you are to us, and the fact that you take your time out on a daily basis to communicate with us alone. I cannot thank you enough, Ron.
Yeah, we have to do it. We're a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and we got to keep it together. We're the glue that combines and holds everything together. If we don't put it together, it's gonna fall apart. We can't let that happen. We can't. I mean, we're too good of an industry and we need to keep it. We need to keep it.
All right. I agree. Yep. Ron, if you could tell these drivers something positive tonight, what would it be?
Don't be afraid to learn. I mean, it's a learning curve. I mean, I got 45 years going on more than that actually, but I always keep an open mind and a willingness to learn, because you're going to learn. The day you come out here and say, well, geez, I know everything, and you're going to hurt somebody. Don't be afraid to keep an open mind and learn, and don't be afraid to ask a question. It's like I said, the only stupid question you don't want to ask is the question you don't ask. We're out here. We're willing to help. I'm willing to help. Just don't be afraid to ask. I mean, I'm not way out there on the road anymore. I'm up here stuck in the woods, but hey, send me an email, send me a text, send me an invite, whatever. Send Wayne a question. He can send it to me. I'll answer it. I'm not afraid to answer. I answered that guy about piss bottles. I ain't afraid to answer.
All right. Enough. Let's end on a good note with this, Ron. I will talk to you later. Remember that you are the heartbeat of America, and you should be true that way. I love you, brother.
Hey, we got it done tonight.
Yes, we did. Stay backstage. I'll see you in a minute. All right, everybody. I'm going to go over to your comments and get to your final thoughts over here. I want to get to Greenfield Carper. I did see your comment. I did see it after you said, did you see my comment? But we will bring this up soon, maybe next week. If you want to join the panel, you can. And his comment is, what's your intake on the almost $5 million insurance that's on the table for the owner-operator? What's your intake on the mileage tax and that the new head of DOT wants to push on us? I tell you this, it's not looking good, and I don't feel that we'll talk about that more a little bit next Saturday. Okay, so if you want to join the show and you want to be on the show, go ahead and reach out to us, send us a message, or just reach out to me privately, send me a call, a text, whatever. You can find all of information over at the driver's side. Okay, the driver's side page. All right, guys, and remember, we are here for you as best as possible. All right, so let me get your final comments down here. Carla says, hi, Phil. Carla says, thank you. Much love and stay safe. Great show. as always. All right. Jeremy Harlan says, you can be willing to learn all you want, but it's the fact that you got to apply yourself to the knowledge that you gain. Just because you learn something doesn't mean you put it to use. No, that's called useless knowledge there, Jeremy. You have to apply what you've learned. Chucky says, hope you all drivers be safe. I'm willing to meet more drivers. I always got an extra plate. Good show. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to Phil Tristan. I saw you in here tonight. And yes, he did mention Davenport, Iowa. You want to say thank you, Ron, for mentioning that. And I'm going to go to Cindy Davis. Amen. Great show. God bless. Cindy, no, thank you for being here. And was it Cindy that we talked about earlier? Where is it? Let me scroll back up here. Where is it? It's Diana. I want to give a special thank you to Diana and to all you women in trucking. I believe Women in Trucking is a great group. Women Empowering Trucking is a great group. Anyways, what we do here on the driver's side, I want to do a women's panel. So if you're interested in being in the women's panel, please get a hold of us over at the driver's side. It's as easy as sending you a link. Even Jerry can do it. So guys, think about that. Jerry can do it. Anybody can do it. Yes, even if Jerry can do it, anybody can do it. I'll get you, Jerry. I'll bust you. I see that finger. Gotcha. Remember, guys, it's that easy, though. Seriously, if you want to be on the show, just let us know. All right. And what are you doing, Charles? Go away. The driver's side page.
Just to let everybody know, this is the Zello app, and this is what it's got for a profile.
All right.
It is the driver's side, so they can find the Zello app for the CB.
Right, guys. So if you want to find us on Zello, it is the driver side, not the driver's side. But let me get over. Thank you, Charles. Let me get back over to Diana McKinney. She says, trucking has been the most profound, most empowering, best thing I've ever done for myself and my children. All 15 of them and 5 grandkids. Wow. Okay. You rock it there, lady. Talk about you need a medal honor. You need a medal and a statue. There's Phil Tristan's truck right there. Phil, see it? I'll be driving that truck soon. But look, to all you women, Diana, thank you so much for coming by. All right. I appreciate all the comments that you guys put in tonight. Carla Williams, thank you so much for being here tonight. Phil Tristan, thank you. John Freese, thank you. Greenfield says, thank you for a great show. All drivers be safe. And for the new drivers out there, don't be afraid to ask questions. Yes, it's an important thing. Any question, every question, there's no dumb question in trucking. And look, if you get a veteran that treats you bad, ask another one. All right. Remember, it's not easy out here. It's just like, we say, you have to reach out and you have to be willing and you have to be open-minded. Don't stop at one, reach out to many. All right. Let me get to Carla Williams. Thank you, Carla. And with that being said, guys, I'm done. We are done. That is a wrap. And I'm going to end it like this. We know that you are everything to us over here at the driver's side. And that's why we show up every day except Sundays. Please, tomorrow, take some time out for yourself. It's the day of rest. And I know you drivers never get rest. But please, with all the things going down out there with weather, regulations, crazy drivers, please find your peace somewhere. Go out every day and be the best driver you can, being happy at it, okay? Because a happy driver is a safe driver. At the end of the day, you're everything to us. Also, you're the heartbeat of America, and you should be treated that way. Always keep your shiny side up, rubber side down, and to make money in today's trucking industry. My beautiful wife, what do you need to do? Keep your left door closed. Get it, everybody, and remember to always, no matter what, put God first. Good night.
Put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done and stick with God.
All right. If you ask for the prayer, I got to come back and give it to you. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you and only you, for you are our Lord and Savior. Father, please protect these men and women as these take these highways. Father, please guide their path, lighten their path. Please, Father, please put your light in the darkest places and light it up as bright as possible. Father, most of all, please put your hand of protection on the heartbeat of America. Father, we're all your God's children, and we all need more love today. And thank you for your unconditional love, most of all. Thank you, everybody. In Jesus' name, amen. Good night.